Hi everyone, welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. My name is Sam and today we are doing a class to help relieve stress. So we are going to be doing a lot of forward folds, a lot of calming postures within this practice to really help relax the body, calm ourselves and get recentered so we can tackle whatever problem we may be having. We're going to start just in a comfortable seated position. Have your hands just resting on your knees and just softly close your eyes. We're not going to bring too much focus into this meditation. I just invite you to pay attention to your breath and just see where you're breathing from in this moment. Where do you feel the sensation of breath most? Is it in your chest, in your belly, maybe in your throat? Or perhaps in your nostrils. And we don't need to necessarily change anything about the way we're breathing right now. We're just making note of where we're at today, where we're at in this moment, and how the breath feels. Take 5 more breaths. After you've completed your final breath, softly blink the eyes open and we will get moving. So starting on all fours, hands right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we're just going to start with some rounds of cat and cow. So inhale, arching the back and looking up towards the sky. Exhale, curving the spine. A few more times like that. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, curve, tailbone and head towards each other. Inhale, arching up. Exhale, curve. Last one. Inhaling up. And exhale, curve and under. Come back to a neutral spine, so your spine is straight. Keeping your left hand planted on the floor. Inhale to reach your right arm up beside you. So we're opening up towards the side wall. And then on an exhale, let that arm swim through underneath you until that shoulder comes all the way onto the mat. And then you can keep your left hand where it is. You can place it behind your back here, or you can extend your left arm up overhead, coming onto the fingertips. So choose whatever variation works for you. We'll be here for another 5 breaths or so. Just make sure that your hips are maintaining a 90-degree angle right on top of your knees. And while we're in this position, keep your belly button pulling in towards the spine so the core is still engaged and we're protecting the lower back here. Take 3 more breaths. And plant the left palm underneath your shoulder. Inhale, lift your right arm back up. Notice if it can open up a bit farther. And then place that hand back down onto the mat. Same thing right away on the left side. So inhale, left arm reaches up. And exhale, swim it through, placing the shoulder onto the mat. And then once again, pick the variation of your right arm that works for you. Maintaining deep belly breaths, maintaining core engagement, and making sure those hips are right on top of your knees. We'll take 3 more breaths here. right hand back down underneath you. Inhale, pushing up open up to the left, and coming back down to neutral. We'll bring your knees a little bit farther apart, toes come together, and just take a nice, easy child's pose. Forehead melts down onto the floor. Arms are reaching out overhead. And just let your hips and your pelvis melt towards your heels. Take 5 more breaths here. And on your next inhale, lift the forehead, slowly make your way back to that tabletop position. And we're gonna take the right leg, swinging it forward in between the palms to find a low lunge. So make sure your knee stays right on top of your ankle at a 90-degree angle here. And then if you're feeling sturdy, sit up, placing your hands on top of your knee, and just let the hips very gently stretch forward. Keep the core engaged here so the belly button is still pulling in towards your spine. You can stay here or progress onto the next step, which is to inhale your left arm up overhead, and then on an exhale, bend towards the right. So we're finding a little bit of a side bend while we're in the low lunge here, just intensifying the stretch in the front of your hip a little bit. Trying to send your breath into the stretch. And on your next inhale, coming back to neutral. Place your palms down, both on the inside of that right foot, and you may want to walk the right foot so it comes to the outside of your mat. And then you're just gonna lift your toes and open them out wider than your heel. So your foot is turning out slightly. And then you're more than welcome to stay here, or if you'd like, you can send the elbows down, finding a bit more of an intense stretch in lizard pose here. You can also use a block if you wish to rest your head on or to rest your elbows on. Just finding whatever variation here works for you in lizard pose. Remembering to send the breath into your stretch. Gently guiding the body into the pose. We don't need to force anything. Taking a couple more breaths here. And walking your hands back in. Softly and gently bringing the right leg back to meet the left in our tabletop position. We're going to go right ahead and repeat that little sequence on the left. So taking the left foot forward, finding your low lunge. And once you feel sturdy and steady, coming up tall, resting your hands on your knee. Keeping the belly button pulling in towards your spine. Light stretch in front of your right hip. Breathing deeply. Once again, you can stay here or progress into the side stretch, this time inhaling your right arm up and then exhaling to fold towards the left. Intensifying the stretch in front of your right hip ever so slightly. And on your next inhale, coming back to neutral and placing both hands this time in front of, on the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out so it's towards the outside of your mat and turn the toes out so your foot is turning out slightly. Make sure when we do this that your knee is still right on top of your ankle, and then find whatever variation you would like to come down into lizard pose. Whatever variation you did on the first side, try to find the same variation here on the second side. Breathe nice and deep. Relaxing into the posture as much as we can. Two more breaths. And coming back up onto the palms, you can go down on your elbow, softly and gently coming back to tabletop. And then we're just going to lower all the way down onto your stomach here. And then you're going to come up onto your elbows and find a position that feels good for your back here. So the farther away you place your elbows on the mat, the less of a stretch you're going to feel. The closer they are, the more intense stretch you're going to feel into your back. So this is Sphinx pose here. And as we do this, try to push your weight into your elbows to draw your shoulders down your back so that we're not collapsing into the upper body, but we're keeping the shoulders gliding down and away from the ears. So a nice long neck, open chest. And we're just elongating the spine into this stretch here. Feel your belly expanding and contracting against the mat underneath you. Breathing deeply. And we will progress farther. Take your right forearm and just place it at a 45-degree angle on the mat here. And then we're also going to bend into your left foot. So bending that foot in. Reach your left arm behind you, grab a hold of that foot, and then we're just gently going to pull that foot in towards your glute. So we're finding a little bit of a quad stretch here. Make sure you're still pushing into that right elbow like we were before. So we're keeping a nice long upper body here. Neck is long, chest is open, and we're just softly guiding the foot down. You might also feel a bit of a stretch in your chest here as your left arm reaches behind you. And we'll release, gently placing that foot back down, and then just reverse. So finding that 45-degree angle with your left forearm, right foot bends, and then reaching back to grab a hold of that right foot, gently gliding it in towards the glute. Still pushing down into the mat with that left elbow. Feeling that stretch from the right quad. Taking two more breaths. And gently place that foot back down onto the mat. We'll take the hands in, finding child's pose once more. So toes together, knees apart, melt the forehead down. And just relax. Coming back to your breath. And from this child's pose, lift your forehead back up. Place your palms a few inches past your shoulders, tuck your toes, and we're coming to our first downward dog. So send the heels towards the mat. You can walk out your feet, shake your head up yes and no, bend and stretch the knees. Do whatever you need. And then find a place to settle into this posture. Feel the length in the back of your legs, the length through your spine. Feel your tailbone and head moving in opposite directions. And we're just going to fire up the legs a little bit. So lifting the right leg up, keep it straight and square, and then right away bend it forward in between the palms. We're going to flip the back foot so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat, finding warrior two. So windmill the arms up. They're reaching towards opposite ends here. 90-degree angle with that front leg, and just feeling nice and long and strong here. Really stable and sturdy. We're able to tackle anything that comes our way. Feeling both feet firmly planted into the floor, especially the outside edge of that left foot. And from this position, we're going to reverse, so lifting the right arm up, reaching all the way back. Feeling that stretch in a reverse warrior on the right side of your body. Still breathing deeply. And inhale to come back to warrior two before we find extended side angle. You can place your elbow on the top of your right leg here, or you can place that palm down onto a block or onto the mat. Whatever variation works for you. Just feeling that strength in the lower body, that centeredness. Nice and stable. And we will place the left palm down where the right palm is. Flip the back heel so it's off the mat. And then now floating the right arm up towards the sky. So coming into an easy twist. Feeling the belly button still drawing in towards the spine. Feeling a little bit of fire in the legs now. And we'll keep the left palm where it is. Rotate to the outside edge of your left foot and find an easy twist here. So pushing into that palm, push the hips all the way up towards the ceiling. And again, finding this sturdy, stable place. Core is engaged, arms are reaching in opposite directions. And place the right palm back down, finding normal plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, once again finding downward dog. Breathing deeply here. Notice if your right leg feels a little different than the left. And we'll even that out now. Lifting the left leg up, keep it straight and square. Swinging it forward to find warrior two. Twist the back heel so it's parallel. And windmill the arms to find warrior two on the left. Keep that left knee opening up so it's right on top of your ankle. Shoulder blades coming together in the center of your back. Arms reaching in opposite directions. Feel very long, strong and sturdy here. Feel the outside edges of both feet in contact with the floor. And then on an exhale, bend at the waist, finding a reverse warrior. This time stretching into the left side of your body. Breathing deeply. And inhale, back up to warrior two. Find that same variation of extended side angle. So maybe your hand was on a block or elbow onto your knee. Still feeling that outside edge of your right foot in contact with the floor. Hips are low. Right arm is reaching up overhead. And we'll place the right palm onto the mat, finding easy twist. You can lift your back heel so it's now up off the mat. Really twisting, finding length, maybe feeling a little bit of fire in that left leg. Breathing through it all. And we'll come into our side plank, so coming to the outside edge of your right foot this time. Hips pushing up, pushing into that right hand, keeping that right shoulder blade solid. Breathing deep. 3 more breaths. float the left palm back down, finding plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Sending both heels down towards the mat. Feeling that length. And from this down dog, we'll swing the right leg forward. Place the knee onto the mat in between your palms. Sitting up nice and tall, we're finding pigeon pose here. And you can sit up nice and tall in this pigeon pose. Fold forward onto the elbows, or if you'd like to come all the way down into your mat, you can do that as well. If you'd like to use one of your blocks, you can, of course, do that as well. So finding your variation. We'll be here for about 8 breaths or so. Really relaxing into the posture, so take your time. Find nice deep breaths all the way down into your belly. Slowly walking yourself back up if you were folded over your legs. And then roll over your sit bones so that we're turning now to face the long edge of the mat. Sitting up nice and tall, place the soles of your feet together, and you can choose which distance from your hips to place your ankles, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Just make sure you can firmly feel both sit bones on the floor. Start by sitting up nice and tall, and then on an exhale, we're just gonna let the head roll forward and curve through the spine. So really allow the weight of your head to pull you forward into a stretch here. So we're not really pulling or forcing anything in this stretch. Trying as best as we can to relax forward. The weight of your head is really doing all the work here. You might feel this a little bit more in your upper back and upper spine, which is totally okay. Just breathing through it, allowing your body to relax is key. And slowly rolling back up through the spine so your head and shoulders are the last to recover. We're going to take both of the legs, swing them towards the front of your mat, and then flip over to find downward dog. Just grounding ourselves once again, now just facing the other side. And we're going to repeat that same sequence, so swinging your left knee forward now, finding pigeon pose. Again, sitting up nice and tall, square off your hips to start. And then whatever variation you would like, if you'd like to stay up tall here, or walk the hands forward, release the forehead down. Wherever you are, just breathe. Once again, we'll be here for about 8 to 10 breaths. Slowly walk your hands back in. Sitting up tall, rolling onto your sit bones once again. This time, keep your legs wide, so opening up towards the edges of your mat here. And I am going to use a block for this. You are welcome to do the same. We're going to do the same roll forward through the spine, just with a different position of the legs. So I'm going to roll forward and rest my forehead on a block here. If you don't have a block, you can also use a cushion. or if you can go all the way down to the floor, that's great as well. Starting with a nice tall spine, sit bones firmly pressing into the ground. And then on an exhale, let the head roll down first, and let the rest of your spine follow. And then from there, try to relax the rest of your body. So ankles are relaxed, feet are relaxed, hips are relaxed, and spine is relaxing forward. Once again, the weight of your head is what is pulling you into the stretch here. Nice and easy. We're not pushing or forcing anything or trying to get to our edge. This is supposed to be a relaxing class after all, so just finding the relaxation. Some deep breathing here. We'll take 3 more breaths. Slowly start to roll back up through the spine, head and shoulders. On the last recover. And you can move your block off to the side if that's what you had done. And then rolling all the way down onto your back. We're gonna right away pull the knees into your chest, maybe rocking side to side. And then widen the knees slightly so they're coming towards your shoulders and armpits. And you can stay there or take it into Happy Baby. One of my favorite hip opening stretches here. And you can maintain that rock side to side, kind of massaging your lower back into the floor. Really grabbing a hold of the outsides of your feet, pulling those feet and those legs in closer towards you as we rock very gently. Just like a Happy Baby. And we'll softly release the legs, soles of the feet back down onto the mat. We're gonna lift the hips, send them over to the right side, and then cross your right leg over your left, and let the knees fall over to the left side. Arms can just reach out beside you, and your eyes will look towards the right. Breathing into your belly button here. Make sure both shoulder blades are firmly pressing into the floor. You might feel a bit of a stretch into the side of your right glute. Just breathing deeply into it, trying to find a release and a relaxation. Firm up the belly, lifting the legs back to center. We'll right away go to the other side, so lift the hips over to the left this time, crossing your left leg over right. Knees will fall to the right, and eyes will look towards the left, keeping both shoulder blades in contact with the floor. Breathing into your belly button. Maybe breathing into a stretch in your left glute. And just really letting gravity take over here. And on your next inhale, firm up the belly. Send the knees back to center, recenter your pelvis, and welcome into Shavasana. Take up space, let the feet open up, palms are facing the ceiling. And just gently closing your eyes. We won't be here for too long. We'll take about 10 breaths. But once again, just like we did at the beginning of class, try to focus on that breathing and noticing where you feel the sensation most. And just make note if it's different from the sensation you felt at the beginning of class, or if it feels more or less the same. And again, there's no right or wrong answer to that question. We're just checking in, making notes, and paying attention to where the breath is and how it feels today and in this moment. So go ahead and take 10 more breaths. Nice and slow. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll through your ankles and wrists. And then when you're ready, rolling onto your right side, coming on up to a seated position. And keeping the eyes closed, sitting up nice and tall. Once again, just make note of where your breath is at in this moment. And noticing if it feels different than it did at the beginning of class. And all together, we'll bring the hands in prayer position in front of the chest and bending forward, namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this class with me for stress relief. I hope you're feeling a little bit more calm, a little bit more at ease, and ready to tackle whatever problem it is that you have to face moving forward. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to SKR Yoga and Wellness. I put out new videos every single Friday. That's it for today. Thanks again and have a really great rest of your day.